Okay, very good evening to everyone, and we are going to start our today's the session for this time. So I kindly request all our beautiful children to recite Namo Tassa 3 times to observe the precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saranagamaṇaṃ sampunnaṃ, Pānātipātā vēramaṇī sikkāpadaṃ samādhiyāmi. Adinādānā vēramaṇī sikkāpadaṃ samādhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācārā vēramaṇī sikkāpadaṃ samādhiyāmi. Musāvādhā vēramaṇī sikkāpadaṃ samādhiyāmi. Surāmēraya majjapamā dattānā vēramaṇī sikkāpadaṃ samādhiyāmi. Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ surakkitaṃ kattvā appamādena sampādē tabbhaṃ. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Meritorious dear children, and the friends in the Dhamma, and wholesome people, I warmly welcome you all to our monthly Dhamma discussions or Dhamma talk or Dhamma sermon. And we have come back again after 2 months of not having Dhamma sermons, right? Last 2 months, I think we did not conduct Dhamma sermons because the one reason is that we had a Vesak day. So during the Vesak time, I was really busy and the temple was really busy, and we had a full of activities on that day. That doesn't mean I have forgotten you, but we had a lot of things to do on that way, okay? And before that month of Vesak, following that month, we had a retreat. So the retreat had 3 days of retreats, meditation retreats. So that 3 days were there on that time. So we could not have that place to conduct the Dhamma talk because of a lot of people were there on that day. So that's why 2 months we could not conduct any Dhamma talk. Did you miss Dhamma talks? Did you miss me? Oh, well, sometime you see me every Sunday at the Sunday school, right? So you don't miss me, I think, because you see me all the time. So I want to tell you that the importance of today Actually, it's not today. 2 days later, it's on 14 of this month. Is one of the most important days for the Buddhist. Do you know why? Yeah, it's Poson Poya Day. Do you know why Poson Poya Day is so important to us? Can anyone tell me why Poson Poya is so important? Yeah, it is very important like Vesak Day. We all know the importance of Vesak Day because that day we commemorated the 3 important events of the Lord Buddha, Supreme Buddha, his birth, enlightenment, and passing away. Likewise, the Poson Poya is also very important for all the Buddhists, especially for Sri Lankan Buddhists. Do you know why? You don't know why? Really? Yeah, that is very important. Why? Because that is the day that Sri Lankan Buddhists received Buddhism. So the Buddhism came to Sri Lanka on Poson Full Moon Poya Day. Who brought Buddhism to Sri Lanka? Yep. You're partly correct, but not really true. Even the Lord Buddha visited 3 times to Sri Lanka, and he visited Sri Lanka 3 times in 3 occasions before, but Buddhism was not firmly established at that time until Venerable Mahinda. Do you know Mihidu Mahathera? Venerable Mahinda? So he's the one who took Buddhism to Sri Lanka with the help of his father. Do you know who was his father? Who was his father? King Dharmasoka. So the King Dharmasoka was one of the most important and great leaders at that time, and that king supported Buddhism in a great manner, enormously supported to Buddhism. So you know that after the passing away Lord Buddha, we had a Sangha council, like gathering of monks. First Buddhist council, second Buddhist council, and third Buddhist council. Right? So they gathered into one place and discussed about Buddhism, what we had to do for the sake of Buddhism in the future. Because the Lord Buddha is no longer with us, so we had to get some ideas of the monks and suggestions from the monks how to maintain these teachings of the Buddha for the future generation. So in that way, they had Buddhist councils. Okay, just simply get ideas like monks gathering, official gatherings. Right. So during the third Buddhist council, so the King Dharmasoka wanted to spread the teachings of the Buddha to the world. Right? So he chose Sri Lanka is one of them. Sri Lanka was one of the countries who received Buddhism with the help of King Dharmasoka, King Asoka. Okay? So King Asoka's son was Venerable Mahinda, Mihindu. So he is the one who took Buddhism to Sri Lanka. So the Buddhism was introduced by Venerable Mahinda Thero to Sri Lanka on Poson Full Moon Day, Poson Poya Day. So now, do you know the importance of Poson Poya Day now? Yeah, that is the day that we received Buddhism from India. Right? Don't forget again. So we call Venerable Mahinda Anubudu Mihidu Maharahatan Wahanse. Why? We consider the Mihidu Mahathera or Mahinda Thera, Venerable Mahinda, is a second Buddha. Why we call him a second Buddha? Because he is very important to Sri Lankan Buddhist. Because of him, we received Buddhism to Sri Lanka. So we consider him as a second Buddha to us. Right? Good. Now you have an understanding of Poson Poya Day. Don't forget again, okay? So today, having that in the mind, let's get into the main subject of today. So today I'm going to teach you very important and very beautiful piece of advice of the Lord Buddha. So, you know that before I talk about this topic, I want to give you some general information or background of the ordinary people. So when someone points out your mistake, how do you feel? If I tell you, oh, you shouldn't have done that, you have a mistake like this, you shouldn't do like that. So if I say that, how do you feel? How do you feel if someone points out your mistakes? Let's say that your mother and father, they point out some mistakes of you. How do you feel? Do you feel happy or angry or sad? How do you feel? Embarrassed. Yeah. That's how we feel. Yeah, because we are ordinary people. So we don't like people who correct us. Right? We think that we are 100% perfect people. But we are not. We all make mistakes. No one is perfect in this world. We all subject to make mistakes. Right? Yeah. We get upset. We feel sad. We feel embarrassed because sometimes some people tell you these things is not good, these qualities in you is not good or are not good. So in that way you don't feel really happy. But the Supreme Buddha, he said, when someone gives you advice, when someone points out your mistakes, when someone tells you this is not right thing to do, this is the right thing to do, so you should be very happy. We should be very delighted in getting advice. That is the advice of the Lord Buddha. You should not get angry. You should not get. You should not be sad, mad, but you should be very happy. Likewise, how do you feel when somebody shows you a basket of gold or money? How do you feel? If I tell you, oh, okay, can you just go outside of this room, and when you step out from this building, you will see a bag of money, $1,000. So how do you feel that? How do you feel when you go and find out some money? Happy? Yeah? Very happy. We feel very happy, right? Because we find some money, we find some valuable items. The Buddha says, likewise, in the same way we become happy when someone shows us the gold or basket of gold or a bag of money, we become happy. So when someone advises us, when someone gives us advice, when someone points out the mistakes, you should be happy, thinking like someone is showing you a treasure, right? So you have to be very happy when somebody gives you advice, when somebody points out your mistake. It's something like you become happy when someone shows you a treasure. Did you get meaning? So there was a very humble character. There was such a wonderful character during the times of the Buddha who really enjoyed getting advice from others. Who is he? Who was he? Can anyone guess? Yeah? Not really. There's one person, one monk, novice monk, during the times of the Buddha who enjoyed a lot getting advice. Yeah? Rahula, very good. Venerable Rahula is the one who enjoyed a lot of getting advice from the Lord Buddha and from others. Do you know what he did every morning in the day? What he did? Yeah? what did Venerable Rahula do every day in the morning? Sorry? Yep. Yeah, very good. He used to take a handful of sand, and then he threw them to the sky. And what did he do, having thrown those sands to the sky? Yeah. Advice, right? He wished, I may get the pieces of advice from anyone as same as these grains of sand which is in my hand. So that was his wish. Do you wish like that? What do you wish? Do you wish to be a doctor? I wish to be a teacher. I wish to be an engineer. That's how we wish. But Venerable Rahula, he wished, I may get pieces of advice every day from anyone. That's how Venerable Rahula wished. So today, I am going to teach you very beautiful teachings of the Rahula. So Venerable Rahula was the previous son of Supreme Buddha. Who was his father? Yep. Supreme Buddha, Lord Buddha was his father before, right? Before he became a Buddha, so Supreme Buddha was his father. So the Prince Rahula was the son of the Supreme Buddha previously, right? So, do you know when Venerable Rahula became a monk? When he became a monk, what was his age when he became a monk? You should have learned about him. You should have heard about him before. Yeah, he became a monk when he was just 7 years old. Maybe more elder than you or younger than you. Younger, most of you are elder than him. But he became a monk when he was just 7 years old. I want to tell you this story, okay? So, the Venerable Rahula, after Buddha became enlightenment, he got an invitation. He got an invitation from King Bimbisara and some other kings to come and visit our city, Kapilavatthu. Okay, Rajagahanur, Kapilavatthu. So the Buddha got an invitation from the king. So he wanted to go and see the area, the city, Kapilavatthu. Who were there? Can you guess who were there? Who are the people were there? Yeah? Yeah, relatives of the Buddha. King Suddhodana was there, Princess Yasodhara was there, and his son Rahula was there too. Right? So he wanted to go and visit this city of his hometown. Likewise, I really miss my hometown. I really wanted to go to Sri Lanka and visit my hometown. Right? Unfortunately, nowadays we can't go because some situation in Sri Lanka is not really favorable now. So I had to wait. But I miss my hometown. I miss my parents. Likewise, this Lord Buddha wanted to visit his hometown. Right? And then, the Buddha started to go with the venerable monks. When the Supreme Buddha approached to that place, Princess Yasodhara and Prince Rahula saw the arrival of the Buddha. How do you think that after 6 years, right? 6 years, Princess Yasodhara did not see the Lord Buddha. Who was Yasodhara? Who was Princess Yasodhara? Yeah? Yeah, Lord Buddha's wife before he became a Buddha. So the wife became very happy. The son became very happy seeing the arrival of the Buddha after 6 years. Right? Then do you know what Princess Yasodhara asked this little prince to do? Do you know what? He asked, that is your father. The Supreme Buddha is your father. Please go to him and ask for your inheritance. Ask from him. Right? So the Prince Rahula was persuaded by his mother to go and get his inheritance from the Buddha. So that he was very happy, let's say like this. So when your grandmother and grandfather come from Sri Lanka, so how do you feel? Do you go and welcome them? Or you just, you don't care, you just stay inside the house? We don't do that. We become very happy when they come. Do you feel happy when you come to temple? Do you feel happy? Why? Because the chief monk always gives you lolly? Is that you feel happy? Yes, of course it is very happy thing, right? That's the purpose of coming to temple of some very little boys and girls sometime. That's good. Yeah, like this Prince Rahula, he was so happy. So he straight away went to the Lord Buddha and he said, Father, your shadow is, he stated like this, he said like this, Father, your shadow is pleasing to me. It gives me a lot of flesh of happiness. So could you please give me my inheritance? So he asked in that way. Then the Buddha was so happy, right? And then the Buddha took him to the place. I exactly don't remember the place. It doesn't matter. So the Buddha and Rahula, Prince Rahula, went to that place where the Buddha was residing, and the venerable Supreme Buddha asked Venerable Sariputta to ordain this little monk, little boy, Prince Rahula. So that he gave ordination for Rahula. Did Buddha get permission from King Suddhodana? Did the Buddha get permission from Princess Yasodhara? No, the Buddha did not get. But he ordained Prince Rahula. And then this news came to King Suddhodana. Who is the King Suddhodana? Who was King Suddhodana? Yeah? Lord Buddha's father. You all know. Very good. Yeah. Then King Suddhodana was not really happy. He was so upset. Why? He had only one grandson who is going to be a leader in the future. But the Lord Buddha had given him ordination. So he was so disappointed and upset. Then he was not happy with the Buddha. And straight away he went to see the Buddha and asked, why did you ordain my grandson? Did you get the permission from me? Did you get the permission from my from the daughter-in-law, Yasodhara? No. Do you know how much I get pain, suffering, hearing of this ordination? Then the King Suddhodana suggested, please do not ordain any person without the permission of the parents. So the Buddha accepted it, he got it, and he promulgated a rule not to ordain any person without the permission. You know what? When I want to become a monk, when I was like 12, 13 years old, so actually I wanted to become a monk because I had a very desire to become a monk at that time. So someone persuaded me to become a monk. I had a monk who taught us mathematics in school. So he started to give me the situation of the monkhood. he started to teach me the situation of the monk life. So I started liking to become a monk. And I wanted to come and tell this idea to my parents. When I told them, they were not really happy. They were not ready to give their permission for me to become a monk. But I persuaded them, I want to become a monk. Please let me do that. Let me become a monk. But I had to struggle with them few years actually, few months. Finally, they gave me a permission to become a monk. What I want to tell is that because even in the modern time, if somebody wants to become a monk, it is not easy. They need to get permission from the parents. And the chief monk always meet the parents of the person. Did you get the permission from your parents? And they examine the parents. So that's how we become monks. So we need to have permission from our parents to become monks. So likewise, so this is the background information of the Prince Rahula. Now he is no longer Prince Rahula, but now he is a Venerable Rahula. So, you know that the little boys, girls always like to tell lies. Do you tell lies sometime? Yes, I know you. Sometimes we do tell lies. No one is free from telling lies. Right? I know that. So this little Rahula, the Venerable Rahula, was believed to have said a lie. Maybe, right? That's the purpose of Buddha wanted to tell this particular discourse, this particular teachings of the Buddha to Venerable Rahula. Because maybe Buddha may have seen that negative factor of some activity of Venerable Rahula. So that's why he wanted to preach this particular discourse of Venerable Rahula. Okay, the particular discourse of the Buddha is called Ambalattika Rahulo Vada Sutta. Right? Don't worry about the English, the Pali term. Okay. So in this teaching, this beautiful teachings of the Buddha has given very good instructions, ideas, advice to Venerable Rahula, how you should act accordingly. Okay? So listen carefully. This is the best part of this Dhamma talk. This is a wonderful part of this Dhamma talk. Okay? Don't move your body here and there. Am I bored, dear? Am I boring? Is my talk boring? Is it interesting? Yeah, then listen carefully, okay? And at the end, I will ask you some questions again, okay? So, then the Ambalattika Rahulo Vada Sutta, it's a very beautiful discourse of the Buddha. So, simply you remember the pieces of advice given to Venerable Rahula, okay? So, the Buddha had a conversation with this little monk. The Buddha closely lived with this little boy, little monk. But somebody may think like that, yeah, Buddha is my father, so I am his son, so I should be very humble, very proud. So someone may think like that, right? But this Venerable Rahula was not such a character. He was not so arrogant person. He was such a humble person, right? But someone may think that, oh, the Supreme Buddha is my father, so he has got the enlightenment. So if he's a Buddha, I can get enlightenment also because he's my father. He's the Buddha, so I can get enlightenment quickly. So I can be free from all the suffering from this world. So it doesn't happen in that way, right? If I ask you like this, if your father is a doctor, will you become a doctor as well, just because of your father and mother doctor? If your father or mother is a teacher, so will you become a teacher just because of your father and mother is teacher? No. You had to go to the university, you had to study, you have to follow all those particular courses, right? Engineering or medical science, you have to study to become what you want to be. Likewise, this Venerable Rahula, he had to follow all the precepts. He had to follow all the precepts, and he had to lead his life according to the teachings of the Buddha. If not, he couldn't have been a good monk or enlightened monk, right? It doesn't mean the Buddha is his father, so he could be a Buddha or enlightened one, unless he had to do a lot of things, a lot of dedication. So this Ambalatika Rahula, the Sutta the Buddha, started conversation with the Buddha. You know that, especially when the chief monk come to our temple as a fellow monk, or as a student's monk, like let's say like this. So the chief monk of this temple is a chief one, right? So I'm just like a student monk here. So if he comes, I need to get things ready. Like I need to prepare a seat. Let's say that he is coming to this hall. I need to prepare a seat for him, and I had to put some water to wash his feet. Right? That's happening during the times of the Buddha also. So the young monks, they had to get the things done before the Buddha or whatever person, the monks come. Right? That's the tradition and the culture. So when the Buddha came there, when the Rahula had to do the things ready, he had to get the things ready. Like he had to prepare a seat, and he had to prepare some water. Why do you think that? Why the Venerable Rahula had to prepare some water with a cup? Why do you think? To wash his feet. Why do you think that is need to wash the feet? You know that because in the times of during the times of the Buddha always walked, right? He didn't have vehicles, and the India at that time was not a very developed country, so he still had to travel here and there. Maybe the roads might have been muddy, dusty, right? So therefore, the feet of the Buddha might have got dirty. So that's why they need to wash the feet, right? If the person come into the clear place, need to wash the feet. So the Venerable Rahula had to put some water with a cup. So the Buddha started conversation with the Lord Venerable Rahula like this. So the Buddha came there, and he washed his feet by himself using the water and the cup. Then this is the very important part, okay? Then the Buddha, he had a very wonderful conversation with this little monk, novice monk. He has like this, okay? Like that. Then the Lord Buddha left a little water in a cup. I had to read the conversation because it's exactly I want to tell you. Rahula, do you see a little water left in the cup? Let's ask questions, okay? So the Buddha washed his feet using the empty cup, and then the little bit of water remained in the cup. Then he asked, Venerable Rahula, do you see the little water remain in the cup? Yes, Venerable Sir, I see the little water remain in the cup. Rahula, just like this little bit of water remain in the cup, there is only very little bit of qualities in someone's life who has no shame, no fear to tell deliberate lies. That is a danger. He said, if you tell lies, if you tell deliberate lies, a very little qualities you have in your life, right? That's what the Buddha wanted to tell. Buddha said, Rahula, if you tell deliberate lies, so only very few qualities in you. There are no many qualities or much qualities in you if you tell lies. That's how the Buddha said, eh? Just like this little bit of water remain in the cup. So you have very little qualities in you if you tell lies. Do you tell lies? Yeah, if you tell lies, you don't have much qualities or many qualities in you. That's the danger of telling lies. Okay, that's the first criteria that Buddha used. Okay, remember, he used 4 criteria to express the danger of telling lies. First, he compared to the little water of the cup, in the cup. And the second, he said again. So, we all know that lie is not a good thing. What is lie? Can you tell me what is lie? Yeah? Yeah, opposite of truth. Lie is something which is not true. Do we lie purposely? Yes, most of the time we lie purposely. Right? So let's say that if someone asks you, where is your mother? And you may say that mother is in upstairs, but mother actually in the basement. But you thought that mother is in upstairs, right? But actually mother was in the basement. You don't know, you just speculate. You just pretend or just hope or expect, right? But that is not true. But that is true, but lie. What is lie? If someone asks you, where is your mother? You may say that mother is in the basement. Actually, she is in upstairs. But you know that she is in upstairs, but you tell she is in the basement. That is lie. You purposely know the thing, and you want to lie the person. Right? That is lie. So the Buddha said that if you tell deliberate lies, so you do not have much qualities in you. It's just like a little bit of water which remain in the cup. That's the first example. And the second, again, the Buddha said that. So the Supreme Buddha says again like this. Rahula, venerable Rahula, very little water left in the cup. There is very little qualities in one. That's the first one, and the second one. The Buddha again took the little remained water and threw it away. Then the Buddha take the cup again, and the Buddha threw away that little water, okay? Now, he said like this. Venerable Rahula, did you see the little water had been thrown away? Yes, Venerable Sir. In the same way, Rahula, when someone has no shame or fear to tell deliberate lie, the someone thrown away all the qualities in him. Right? So that's how the Buddha wanted to show the danger of telling lies. So that when the little bit water thrown away, so there is no water in the cup, right? It's thrown away. It's in the same way, in the same manner, if someone has no shame or fear to tell deliberate lies, so all the good qualities have been thrown away, like that. Your good qualities have been thrown away. Like, so that's like, most of the time, like, you are empty of good qualities, right? So that's the second criteria. And the third, then the Buddha takes the cup and turn it upside down, right? This is how the Buddha used his practical approach to this Venerable Rahula to show the danger of telling lies. He take the cup again and turn it upside down. What happened if the cup turned upside down? All the remaining things goes down. Nothing is left in there, right? And then he said, yes, Venerable Sir, I see the cup has been upside down. In the same way, Rahula, when someone is willing to tell deliberate lie, turn his life upside down. Likewise, if you have no shame and fear to tell lies, so it's like your life you have turned upside down, right? That means you didn't have such kind of good qualities in you. All the qualities have gone down. It's like you are a dull person, very bad person, because of this telling lies, right? It's like this. Earlier you had a good qualities. You have cultivated to do good qualities earlier, but soon after you started telling lies. If you happen to tell lies, all the good qualities have gone down, right? Because of this telling lie of deliberate lies. So that's what they wanted to say that, okay? And again, the fourth one, okay, the last one. He said, again, Lord Buddha takes the cup and said, do you see how empty this cup is? Right now, cup is very empty, completely empty and hollow this cup. Yes, I do. In the same way, Rahula, this cup, this is how empty someone's life if someone tells deliberate lies. So someone's life become completely empty of good qualities if that person tells deliberate lies, right? That is the danger of the telling lies. So the Buddha uses these 4 types of criteria. The little water remain in the cup, and the little water thrown away, and the cup has turned upside down, and then last one is how the cup is completely empty, right? In using these 4 types of methods, criteria, the Buddha wanted to show the danger of disadvantages of telling lies, right? So if someone keeps telling lies, that person is completely empty of good qualities, right? That's what the Buddha wanted to tell this little novice monk, Venerable Rahula. And he used another simile of elephant, royal elephant. Do you know why ancient time, why people use royal elephant? Why? Yeah? Right, yeah. They used these royal elephants to fight in the battlefield, right? Some earlier time they didn't have multi-barrels or the one of the other types of equipments for people used to war, to fight. All those kind of words do not come to my mind. Like advanced technological equipments that people used to in the battlefield. But earlier time people used strong elephants and also strong horses, right, to fight. So this royal elephant was such a wonderful and very big and huge elephant. So the king used this elephant to fight against the enemies. So he had a very huge 4 legs, 2 tusk, the white tusk, and the trunk and the back, and a huge body. He can use that huge body in order to attack against all the enemies. He used his 2 legs to attack the enemies. So in that way, this whole elephant was used by a king or in the battlefield to fight against the enemies. So this elephant, he uses all his body parts in order to take a revenge, in order to win the war against enemies, right? So the Buddha said, likewise, if someone keeps telling lies, that person may commit all the other types of evil things in their life. Let's say that there is no anything that he would not do if the person tells lies, right? If he tells lies, he will do all the other bad things. Like he will violate all the other 4 precepts as well. If he tells lies, if that person keeps deliberate lies, that person may break all the other 4 types of rules, right? So that's the danger of telling lies, right? If you tell lies, you may engage in killing, you may engage in stealing. Yeah, the telling may always accompany it with other unwholesome activities as well, right? So you may steal, you may kill, or you may misuse of your senses, and you may drink alcohol, right? That's the danger of telling lies, right? The Buddha said that if you keep telling deliberate lies purposely, so you have the capability of violating all the 4 types of precepts, right? You have the capable of violating all the other types of bad things of precepts. That's the danger of telling lies. Did you get the picture of danger of telling lies? Yeah, that's a very, very, very bad. And the Buddha again, he used a very beautiful simile. One more very simile. Do you know the mirror? Do you have a mirror at home? Why do people use mirror? Yeah. Yeah. People use mirror to reflect, right? To look at themselves, to look ourselves, to look at yourself. How do you look at yourself? Using mirror. Without mirror, how can we see our face without mirror? Can you see your face without mirror? Of course, we can see our hands, legs, right? We don't need to have a mirror to see our legs and hands, but how can we see our face? We had to have a mirror. Buddha wanted to give this very beautiful simile to this venerable Rahula. Rahula, why do people use mirror? Why do they use mirror for? The venerable Rahula said, to reflection. Yeah, that's a very good idea. So, how many mirrors are there at your home? That's a good question also. How many mirrors are there at your home, in your home? Few? Many? Uncountable? Most probably you have a mirror at your bathroom, and most of the time you may have the mirror in the front door sometime. Why people do or use those mirrors? Is because they are shiny, to make your house shiny? No. They use mirror to reflect. Before they want to go out, to look at their face. How look I am today? How do you look today? How do I look today? Do I look well? So to look at yourself, to look at your face, right? Is there something on my face? Is the food particles on my mouth, in my mouth? So likewise, we want to check our appearance, right? We want to see how good looking we are, right? So that's the purpose of using mirror. So the Buddha said that, well, Rahula, that is the importance of mirror. That's the job of mirror. But in the same way, we can reflect our bodily, verbally, and mentally. Verbal actions should be reflected repeatedly before we perform. While we are performed, after we have performed, we have to reflect. Are you sleepy? Do you want to have some water? Who is sleepy? No one is sleepy, right? All are very energetic. You had a class before this? You had a swimming class or something like that? No, right? So be very energetic, okay? It's about to finish. Yeah, then likewise, Buddha said that we use mirror to reflect ourselves, to look at ourselves. Likewise, our actions should be reflected. How do we reflect our actions? We take a mirror and let's see how our actions work. Is that the way we have to do? We use the mirror to to see how our actions are? No, not that way. We had to reflect our bodily actions before we perform, before we act, while we are acting, or after we have acted. We had to reflect it. The Buddha has given how should we reflect. I'm going to tell you only one. Buddha has given us how we should reflect our bodily actions. He said like this, Rahula, how do we reflect our bodily action? He said, Venerable Rahula, whenever before you want to do any actions with your body, you have to reflect like this. Listen very carefully, okay? This is very important. This advice is important. It's important than your mirror at home, okay? He said like this. You reflect in this manner. Is this action harmful for me? Is this harmful for others? Here, is this means your actions. Is this actions harmful for others? Will it harmful for both, for me and others? Will it be an unwholesome, unskillful actions with painful outcome, painful result, painful outcome? If Rahula, on reflection, you know these bodily actions that I want to do will harm me, harm others, and harm both, and it will be an unwholesome bodily actions. That action will bring unhappiness, painful outcome and painful result. Do we have to continue with that kind of actions? We should not perform such kind of action, bodily actions, because you know that actions are not good. It's harmful to yourself, harmful to others, harmful to both. And those actions will bring unhappiness, painful experience, painful results to yourself. Then do you have to carry out those actions? You don't have to. What do you have to do? You have to stay away of doing all those unwholesome activities. Then he said, Rahula, you should certainly not do such bodily actions. But Rahula, if on reflections, you know these bodily actions that I want to do will not harm me, will not harm others, will not harm either. It will be wholesome bodily actions with pleasant outcome, pleasant result, then you should do that. Yeah, if you know that these actions, your bodily actions, is not going to harm yourself, to others, and to both parties, and it will bring good result to yourself and others, and give you good happiness, pleasant feeling, then you should carry out those actions. Right? That's how you should reflect your bodily actions. That's how. It's not only one time you have to reflect, repeatedly reflect, few times. Don't stop just one reflection. Repeatedly you have to reflect your actions. Okay? That's the Buddha's, these 6 criteria how to reflect our bodily actions. Right? Let's say like this. What is the first actions you have to do in the morning? Getting out from your bed, right? You have to get up from your bed. What happens if you do not get up from your bed in the morning? It may cause a lot of problems to others, right? You may miss your school bus. Your father and mother had to drive you to the school. You had to cook. Your parents had to cook quickly. You had to prepare everything. Why? Because you did not get up very early. Right? So likewise, if you do not do the right things at the right time, so you may experience a lot of bad results, bad outcomes of your actions. So you have to reflect. What happens if I do not get up early? I had to face all those type of problems, right? So in that way, you have to reflect your bodily actions, right? Let's say that when you walk from school to your home, you see someone's garden. In someone's garden, the apple tree. You see an apple tree, right? So you see an apple tree. A lot of apples are on the ground, falling to the ground. So you have an idea to get one and eat. So I want to eat that. That's like Nobody cares about those apples because apples are on the ground. It seems like no one look up to cares about these apples. So you have idea to get one from that garden, and then you have idea to get it. But that action is not good one. Why is it stealing? And at that time, before you perform, you had to reflect it. You had to ask yourself, is this a good action to do? If I do this, what if someone saw when I steal it? When I take this apple from this garden, it doesn't belong to me. What happens if someone shows it? No one going to trust me. No one going to believe me. So in that way, how you should reflect your actions before you perform. Not only that, while you are reflecting, while you are performing your actions, while you are still on the way of performing your actions, you also have to reflect your actions. How we should do while we are doing like this. These bodily actions that I am doing, is it harming others? Is it harming for me? Is it harming others? Is it harming for both? Is it painful one? So this is how you should reflect your actions while you are doing, right? And if you know that this is not good, it gives you a lot of painful experience to yourself and others and both. And if that actions bringing you bad result, then you should avoid. You should not carry out those actions. You have to avoid. And after you have done your actions, can you stop thinking about that? No, you can't. You still have to reflect your actions, right? How do you reflect your actions after you have done? You have to think like this. Rahula, having done these bodily actions, you should reflect in this manner. These bodily actions that I have done, did it harm others? Did it harm me? Did it harm others? Did it harm both? Was it an unwholesome action? Was it a painful outcome, painful result? Rahula, you know that those actions harm me, harm others, harm both, and bring unwholesome activities and result. So you should confess. You should confess, right? You should ask for the forgiveness. Let's say that you have done some mistake, and what you had to do, you know that it is not good for you and not good for others. And what you had to do? You had to go and say sorry to them. Confess, right? Mom, I have done this. Father, I have done that. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It was just accident. I didn't know the bad consequences of doing that. Anyhow I have done it. Can you please forgive me? Apologize. I won't do that again. I will stay away from those actions. So that's how you should go and confess yourself. Right? You should ask for pardon from your parents, from your teachers. Right? So you have to promise to your parents and teachers, I won't do that again. Right? It won't happen. That's how you should act after you have performed, after you have done your bodily actions. Right? So you have to reflect before you do your actions, your bodily actions, while you are doing your bodily actions, and also after you have done your bodily actions. You have to reflect, right? Do you know how to reflect your actions now? So you have no excuse. You have to reflect upon these three time periods: before, while, after. You have to reflect your actions, and you have to confess yourself to the parents or teachers if you have done a mistake, right? And this is advice for bodily actions, and also it can be applied to the mental actions and also verbal actions, right? We do not have much time to say go through all of those things, but these criteria, 6 things, 6 approaches we can use for bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions. When you want to say something to your parents, before you speak, please be mindful all the time. Before you say some words, tell this word, is this word going to harmful to my parents, harmful to you, harmful to others? Then please don't use such kind of words, right? Especially when you talk to your parents, always watch out your words, okay? Let's say if you happen to say some accidentally, or you said some bad words to your parents, before you say, you have to reflect upon your verbal actions. While you are saying, you have to reflect upon your actions. After you have said, you have to reflect upon your verbal actions. I'm sorry, Mom, I said this bad word to you. I won't say that again. Please forgive me. I don't do that again. So that's how you should confess yourself and ask for the pardon from your parents, right? So these are the very good advice of the Buddha for us. So if someone can apply these teachings of the Buddha to their life, so their bodily, verbally, and mentally actions will be wholesome activities if they use these approaches before they perform, right? So this is a very important advice of the Buddha. So I hope you enjoy the talk, and do you have any questions? Can you ask me some questions if you have? So I will conclude the Dhamma sermon here, and it is time for you to say something or have some questions. So did you understand? So how do you find this Dhamma sermon? Do you really enjoy it? So give me some ideas, give me some motivation, so I can do it much better in the future. So do you have any suggestions? Girls, boys? Do you understand? Yeah? Sorry? You like it. How about others? Others like it? Did you understand the main points of the Dhamma sermon today? Yeah, your actions, okay? Like mirror, you usually go to the mirror, right? You go in front of the mirror, right? Always, to see how you look like. So likewise, please, before you perform your actions in the mind, or physical actions or verbal actions, please always try to reflect your actions, okay? Before you do. You apply these methods to your actions. Then you don't have to worry about whether you say a bad word or not, because you won't say or won't do or won't perform any kind of bad activities, unwholesome activities, if you can reflect your actions, okay? Like that's the Buddha's advice to Venerable Rahula. So not only for Venerable Rahula, but these advices are, the pieces of advice are very, very important to our life, right? Please use of them to make your life better, okay? And I wish you all the best, and may the Triple Gem always bless you. Thero Sarana.